Cheers, listeners.
Book babes and book bros.
Welcome to Book Babble. I'm Rachel,
And I'm Tanya, and we're the Witlet Women, your hosts for today.
and today we have a special guest star. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Like I'm in them, and I write dark and magical and fantastical world.
Well, we are happy to have you on and excited to talk about your magical, fantastical worlds, aka. So are you ready to babble? Awesome. I will put 5 minutes on the clock right now.
Okay, so my first question is always, what inspired you to write your stories?
Um, so always, um,
Oh
I
no, it cut out completely. We've missed everything you've just said.
oh, can you hear me at all?
A little bit, yes, that's better.
Okay. Well, I'll start over. Reading has always been a safe space for me, and it was the way I use to like cope dealing with um some not so safe situations, and um I love being able to go into those worlds. However, a lot of times I didn't see a lot of the representation I wanted to see in the world I love. And so I decided I was going to start writing books that had the kinds of relationships I wanted to see, the kinds of characters I wanted to have these stars and not just, side characters or, side stories that were that like token mention. Oh, he's a fun, gay friend. Or, oh, look, there's two girls kissing in the corner. I wanted the story to be about those characters, about characters who were unapologetically queer and we could see their romances grow and bloom and blossom and enjoy those worlds where they weren't afraid of who they were because of who they loved. They had to deal with other things in life that were hard or difficult, and it wasn't about so much about like the struggle of their sexuality.
So you write a lot of inclusive stories. Is there a character specifically that you've written that you identify with most?
Oh, as of yet, not particularly. Um, all my characters have pieces of truth. So, like in Veins of Sapphire, Heart to Steel, my debut novel, the main character Orla and the main character Aurelia both show different aspects of who I am. Orla is a bit more of like who I was when I was younger or in my past self, and Aurelia is kind of who I inspire to be or who I am today. And so it's basically a love story between my past self and my like, current future self. So,
That's so cute. I love that.
and then in I wrote the Ponies, a novel by Taylor that's coming out in October. That has a non-binary main character, and so that one gets to show that representation of like how I identify. Um, so it's been a lot of fun to be able to play with a character that's non-binary.
Amazing.
I love representation in literature. I think it's such an important place for us to be able to not just be creative and explore topics, but to open doors for people who haven't previously been able to open those doors before. And I love that so much. What is your process for writing, like from the technical point? Like how do you get what's in your head into the paper?
Right. Um, so I am more of what they either consider a pantser or a visionary planner. So I start with a bullet point outline and the title and my characters and character sheets. And from there, I may plot out the overarching. full series. So it'd be all of the things, all the vibes, all of the core essence of the book and the world. And then I let the chaos take me as I go into it. And oftentimes, certain things I plotted out change and turn into something new and beautiful. And the characters speak to me and they're like, nope, we're going to go do this direction. Or, no, that really isn't who I am as a person. So I'm not going to make that decision in that way. And I really just let the story take its own shape.
Well, AK, you made it through our 5 minute round, so congratulations. The nerve-wracking part is all finished. Now, so we'll put that 5 minutes on our social channels. The rest of the interview, the full thing, will go on our YouTube and Spotify. So now is the extra fun part where we can just relax and chit chat and talk whatever we want to. So, um, I am going to give the floor to Rachel right off the bat because I like to yap and I never give her time to talk.
I understand that.
So I'm always really curious with the technical aspects because I think it's really something that we don't honor enough of. And it's such a huge piece of what you guys do as authors. How do you do your editing? Is that something that you do by yourself? Do you have an editor? How does that work?
So for me, I go through well, I call it a phase type of situation, I guess, or like a phase tactic. Um, so my rough draft, I write chapter by chapter and do preliminary edit. And as each chapter gets that preliminary editing done by me, I drop it into a Google Doc, and I have anywhere between 1 to 4 alpha readers who read it for me. And they stay with me through the full journey of writing the book, and they help give me that thoughts and questions and small edits, or if I accidentally spell salami as Salem and not salami when speaking about a sandwich, um, they uh, they make sure that they catch those things for me before I go into editing phase. During editing phase, I will do a reread, and beta readers will get the full manuscript at that point, and they come through and help cut any sort of context or maybe some issues that I've had where like the character has I'm sorry about that. Is where a character might pick up something and not remember to put it down, or where did the character pick this item up? They have those types of issues, um, and they pick those out for me. And then after the beta readers and I've done my reread and my hardcore edit to it, I send it to my editor, and she does more like line and proofread editing and make sure that I haven't missed any sentences or grammatical issues or any editorial things that need to be changed. And at that point, it's it's been pretty well gone through because I usually have about 5 to 10 beta readers. So after that, then I go to formatting, which I load, but also love. And I load it because it's so boring, but also so necessary. And I do enjoy making my own chapter art. And so, like, all my books have blacked out chapter art pages, so they're like dark mode pages, that I've done and designed all myself. And those PDFs came in the butt to format with. So you can't just use a quick and easy formatting program for that. You kind of have to do it old school and go in with text boxes and all the things.
Yeah, I've heard like line
Um,
editing is really difficult and can take a long time. So, hats off to you for doing it. It's hard.
yeah, so the main line edit, for sure my editor does the line edits, and then the formatting is basically like the placement of the text, the size of the text, making sure you're not having paragraphs splitting in views or really going from one page to the next. Um,
Hmm.
that's all in formatting. How many pages you end up having, all of it. So then after that, then it goes out to I publish it into the PDFs that go to print and the EPUBs that go to the ebook, and it goes out to our readers. And then our readers sometimes catch little things, and as long as they catch it before I need to officially publish, they know that it can be made before publishing. But sometimes they're not, so then you have to make sure that it the next time when you go through and do your revision. So yeah, that's my process.
It is such a strenuous process. Like people don't realize how much goes into the editing side of things. So I always really enjoy getting the author's perspective because you learn a lot from like each person's process is different too. So it's lovely just to hear how people address everything. So yeah, that was super beneficial. I wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit, and you had mentioned, building these teams of beta readers, alpha readers, ARC readers, and there's such a sense of community in doing that. How do you do that? How do you build your own community? Um, yeah, that's the gist of it. That's my question.
So I have built my community and my team primarily through social media interaction. Excuse me, sorry. So my social media has been a really key point in making the initial connection with people. And usually I will publicly put out there, hey, I'm looking for art tutors. And when I first started, I did this with data readers and as well. And sometimes I will reach out publicly to data readers, but all of my alpha readers have come from previous art and data readers. And now that I've gone through the process, this will be my third time. So I'm currently looking for art readers for Shadows of the Iron Wild, which comes out on September 30th. And it, I've gotten my beta readers and the alpha readers all from the previous two books that I have out already. So um, that's been kind of helpful because I don't have to like revet who's going to work well with me because not everybody does. I do things a
Right.
little differently when it comes with those teams. I like to create separate Discord servers for each book and each phase, and I like to really connect with my team and get the feedback and get their reactions and um, ask them the questions and communicate. I communicate a lot with my team, and I've been told it's very different than how other author that they've like ever experienced does things. And because that support for me is really critical. I like to, I mean, yeah, these are my stories, and like first and foremost, I want to write the story that I want to read, and that's the most important. Like that's my, I guess, standard for success in each of my stories is that it's a book that I want to read. But additionally, I do want to take and make it something enjoyable for the people that are reading it as well. So like I want to take that feedback that they're willing to give and put it into making something that's even better. Because sometimes they have really great ideas or, you know, they see something that I can't see because I'm so entrenched in this world. So it's really important for me to connect with them and I enjoy making those relationships.
Incredible. I feel like the indie author community is so much more tight knit, and you can actually like build those relationships and have those conversations much better than if you were traditionally published, which is what I love so much about this community. However, we are nearing the end of our episode, AK, so this is typically right around the time when we open the floor to you. If you have anything that you want to say, any announcements, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So I currently have two books published and available. That's Veins of Sapphire, Heart to Steel, and that is my dark classic high fantasy romance. And then I have Kissing in the Darkness, Bound by Shadows, and that is my dark classic romance. It's a novella, so it's a shorter read. And then coming out on September 30th is Shadows of the Iron Wild, which is my MMS romantasy, sister romantasy, sorry. Regular sisters, unicorn sisters, dragon sisters, what have you. And then on October 31st, my first thriller, History Non-Binary EC, will be coming out, and that's a very
So
that's
many
a story.
exciting things. I love that. So many exciting things. Well, we had such a great time with you today, AK, and we appreciate you taking the time out to hang with us for a little bit. And, we'll get this online as soon as possible.
I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.